Hello everybody, good afternoon on Fabulous Friday again. So today, I don't know what's going on with my phone. I might be coming up a funny way. Yes, I am portrait. So I don't know if this is a new Facebook thing, but I cannot get my phone to go landscape today on the recording, but it could be because Facebook is now trying to push us down the Reels avenue and stories so much that they're probably now chomping us off at the side so we look very good on Reels and stories. So how are we all feeling on Fabulous Friday? Wow, this week has been a funny week. I've been feeling bleh all week. I've only just started feeling a bit better today. I thought I had the Rona, but I haven't because I tested myself. So it must have been something else. So I suppose we all have weeks like that where things are not going quite to plan or you just don't have the energy for it. But today I'm back and I'm feeling a lot more like myself. So tomorrow I'm going to get back out running again because this week has been an utter disaster. I only got one run in. So I'll be back out tomorrow trying to clock up the miles. So today I want to talk to you about photography and why good photography is important for your business and why you really need it. So when I first started out 10 years ago, photography, like images, was the done thing on social media. There were no lives, there were no reels, there were no stories, and hardly anybody used video. It was all image based. And so I made a decision at that time to invest in a decent camera. So I went and paid out like £500 on a Canon, a DSLR camera, because the mobile phones in those days just didn't really cut it. They weren't really, well, they were like bricks. They just didn't really take good images. But I knew I needed to invest in a camera because I needed to get decent images for my business, and because that was what was going to help me grow my business, get my message out there, and obviously showcase what I had to offer. So I invested in my camera and that's what I did. Now, over the years, that camera came everywhere with me. I did not get in my van without it. It came to every mess around event with me. And I have taken literally thousands of images over the years that I use for my business to sell events, to promote workshops, and obviously to do everything like festivals, all sorts. And I never paid for any professional photography for my actual events. I've had professional photographers come in to do conferences and stuff, but for my events, I took the pictures. And that was my job on the day. And I had quite a good eye for what would make a really good picture. And I always edited all my photographs. Now, my leaders and that came into the business have had professional photographers in because that's what you really needed to do at the time, because phones didn't really cut it. And unless you're investing in the camera, then obviously you paid someone to come in and do it. Now, if you get your images right and you take really good high quality images, they can really benefit your business in terms of marketing. I had one shot that was literally a photograph that we took in London, which was of our big mess around setup, that literally sold thousands. And I'm talking thousands of places. If I ever put that photograph up anywhere to advertise, bang, 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 straight away, people were buying because they were completely like bought by the image. That's what it was all about. And so I always used images and photography in my business really heavily. Okay, so it was like I used it all the time because I used it as a way to engage my audience after the events and getting them back onto my social media. And that strategy has continued to be like successful. It's basically a rinse and repeat, and we've done it for years. So we're still doing it. The Mess Around business is still doing it right now, and it works. When I set up my weekly sports business, I knew I had to look at photography in a different way, because obviously I was teaching, and if you're like me when you were doing that, you're doing a lot of face-to-face, you're running around, you're actually teaching the class, so it's really hard to take your images. But I knew I needed to get those images because that was what was going to drive the engagement. That's what was going to bring people to my social media, and they were going to do some of the heavy lifting for me in terms of my marketing. So I found a way to do it. So I used my finish at the classes. Okay. So one of my things I'm going to say to you today at the end is like how can you do that in your business? So I used the finish at the end, which was a podium where the children were going to wave to their fans. But our children, they did dancing, they did jumps, they did poses, they did gymnastic moves, they did all sorts off that podium. And that was my opportunity to take the photograph, for me to get the perfect image. Now, mobile phones now, you can do pretty much everything. There is no excuse really now to take a bad picture on a phone, because you can take some really good high quality images if you know what you're doing and you've got everything set up correctly. So every week I used to take pictures, and straight after the classes, they were loaded up straight to my Facebook page. And this was all from my car. So they were edited, loaded to the Facebook page, and then gave all the call to actions, which was either to book a place to come or to tell them what was happening next week. And I was always guaranteed to get likes on those photographs, engagement on the photographs, and getting people messaging me in my inbox asking about places that were available. Why? Let me tell you why. Because people, parents, customers love to see their children on social media. They love it. Now, obviously, you've got to have consent. If you don't have consent, then obviously you're not putting them on there. But people want to see their kids enjoying themselves. They want to see what they're doing. They want to see the poses. They want to see those special moments that you've captured that they didn't see. Okay, they love to show off to the world. That's what Instagram is for. That's what it's all about. They want their family and friends to see what their child is doing. And so it's a great opportunity to market your business. And like I said, there's no excuse now, because if you've got a decent mobile phone, an iPhone or an Android, you can take high quality images with just your phone these days. So I'm really excited because we're going to be launching a new course. It's called Picture Perfect, which is going to teach you how to do that. It's going to show you step by step how you need to set your phone up. It's going to go through understanding the grid, composition, rule of thirds, lines, editing, all sorts, so that you can take really good pictures for your business, okay? Because I believe a lot of the children's activity providers out there, hiya Rachel, are not using photography enough in their business. Obviously, you've got to do the reels, you've got to do the live, and you've got to do all the story type stuff. Yes, you have to do that, because that is where it's all at the moment. But do not forget photography, because photography will still be there. It still can be seen. Lots of people do lots of scrolling, and they do look at all the images. And so if you're not using photography in your business right now, then I think you're missing a trick. I think you really are missing a trick to re-engage your audience between your classes and after classes, and obviously to get them to do some of the heavy lifting for you. So use your social media platforms as the shop window, okay? That's your nice, pretty shop. Make sure your display looks really good, because your photographs, if they're high quality, not blurry, they're in focus, they're in the right shot, they tell 1,000 words, they tell your customer that you're high quality. If you've got rubbish photographs on your Facebook page, on your Instagram that are blurry, not in focus, heads chopped off, bits missing, what does that say about you and your business? Because it was something that I was really passionate about in my business, and if I saw bad photographs, I deleted them. They weren't staying on my businesses. They weren't going to be a reflection on the brand that I spent years creating, growing. Bad photographs, no, okay? So it's really, really simple to take a decent picture, and if you do, and you get it right, it's a really simple strategy to be implementing straight away in your business. So you should be investing in your photography, because it's a business asset. So today, my question to all you guys out there, are you taking photographs at your classes and events and workshops? Don't give me there's an excuse that you can't do it at classes. I did it. I found a way. There's always a way. You just need to figure it out, okay? So you should be using photography in your business, okay? Do you capture, how do you capture them? Okay, that's the thing you need to figure out, okay? So if there's an opportunity, obviously when you're running events, You should be moving in and out of like the customers, chatting with them, taking pictures. That's all possible. If you're at classes, can you use your Finish? Or when the mums are having like a little tea and coffee, if you offer that service, can you do images then? There's no excuse really, okay? The only time really there's not really an excuse is if your kids are in the water swimming. And even then I've seen people have workarounds and they've managed to get those photographs. So there is no really real excuse for not taking images. Then how do you use them in your marketing? Okay, so are you posting them? Are you editing them? Are you using them in competitions? Are you putting them into Canva? Use them correctly, okay? Always put your best images at the front, okay? Obviously, you might take some images that you want to get of the other customers that are taking part, but if they're not the best photographs, keep them at the back. Other rules of thumb when taking pictures, all right, of mums, okay? Make sure you're down at child level. We don't want to see all the mums' boobs and bums and butts and knickers and pants, okay? You've got to be really good at taking the image. Get down to child level, okay? So that's all part of what you need to do when you're taking those images. And I've seen some terrible images out there that I thought they just should not be on social media. Also make sure you don't take pictures of just a piece of grass. I've seen people take pictures of a piece of grass and go, oh, look, we're here today. Really? That's not going to inspire me, okay? So just be really selective about the pictures that you're taking. Make sure you think about what you're putting out on social media. So think about that. If it's something that you don't really know much about, if you don't really know how to set up your phone on the right settings, how to get the right images, how to use the grid, composition, like I'm talking about, like the lighting, editing tools, stay tuned because we've got a really cool course coming up that you're going to be able to dip into and learn about how to do that on your iPhone and the Android, okay? Other jobs for you to do, go through your Facebook page or your Instagram account and see what your page looks like to a potential customer looking at what you offer and give it a tidy up. So if there is rubbish images or blurry images, delete them off now because you don't want people thinking that's the type of stuff you put out there. You want them to think that you're high quality, value for money, and a brilliant business. You don't want them to think they look cheap, nasty, and they don't look like they really care about what they put out there. Okay, so do that for us. So hopefully that's given you some thoughts, some ideas around photography and how important it is for your business. I'll be back next week. We're talking about something else. I'll let everyone know what it's going to be. But have a brilliant weekend. If you are having this heat wave, I am so jealous because we are just getting constant grey, rain and showers up here. We've had no sun now since May. It's a bit depressing, really. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the sun and have a fabulous time. And I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.